Oh, ma'am.
Is your wife employed?
Yes, ma'am.
And where is she employed?
At Coca-Cola.
And how much does she make per week approximately?
Maybe 5 to 6, some depending on the overtime.
Okay. And so your wife is the one that's mainly responsible for the bills in the household?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you contribute by taking care of the children?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you lived in Orlando your entire life?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. No further questions.
Statement inquiry.
Mr. Hurd, what address is 139 East 130 or East 13th Street in Apopka?
That's my mother-in-law's house in Apopka.
Okay, and that is not your address?
No, ma'am.
Did you recently move from that address?
No, when we got the car, that was the address they put on there because she co-signed for me.
Okay. And you said that you've lived in the Central Florida area all your life?
Yes, ma'am, pretty much.
The last time you were employed, how were you employed?
I worked at Sherwood Bedding, and they closed down because lack of work.
Okay. And how long ago was it that you became unemployed?
Maybe like a year.
And do you have any prospects for getting employment?
I mean, I pretty much do it sometimes now under the table, but being that like we don't have that much money, sometimes, majority of the time I got to stay home with my kids.
Okay. All right. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Hurd, you don't suffer from any type of disability?
No, sir.
All right. All right, counsel.
As you've heard from the defendant, he has a household with a very limited income. His wife is solely responsible for the bills and would probably be the party that's responsible for posting his bond, along with perhaps some family members. For that reason, we would ask that the bond on count 1, the trafficking in cocaine, be set at an amount lower than $50,000, and we would ask that the bonds remain stayed on the other counts.
State wish to be heard.
Yes, Your Honor. The state asks that the court stay the bonds as stated, and the state would additionally ask for a nebia hold as to count 1, as this is a trafficking in cocaine charge, so that the court can be assured that any funds to post the bond are coming from a legal source, Your Honor.
All right, the court will agree with the state's request for a nebia hold. I will reduce the bond on count 1 to $20,000, and the bond on counts 2, 3, 4, and 5 will be raised to $1,000 each. All right, so the bond is $24,000. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Michael Jackson is next. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Jackson, you're here today on count 1. The charge is burglary to a dwelling. The bond is $5,000. Count 2, the charge is grand theft. Count 3, charge is receiving money from a pawnbroker with false verification. Count 4 is the same, receiving money from a pawnbroker. Count 5 is dealing in stolen property. Count 6 is also dealing in stolen property. Count 7 is criminal mischief. All right, thank you.
Your Honor, we would like to ask for a bond reduction.
All right.
I'd like to elicit testimony?
I mean, I need some information in order to decide whether or
On the
not...
basis of his inability to pay.
All right, you're going to offer his testimony?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, raise your right hand. Your right hand. You have to tell me which hand is your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that this testimony is that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, so help you? You got to speak up so I can hear you.
Yes, sir.
All right, and you're Michael Jackson?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Anaston.
Mr. Jackson, at the bond as it currently situated, can you afford the bond right now?
No, sir.
Do you have kids?
Yes, sir.
How many?
3.
Do they live with you?
Yes.
Do you have a girlfriend or a wife?
Yes, sir.
Which one?
The girlfriend.
She lives with you too?
Yes, sir.
Has she tried to bond you out?
Yes, sir.
And why can't she?
Because she needed my help. I can only help myself. 'Cause I got income, SSI check,
Is that your only source of income?
and her.
All right, statements. The state have questions of Mr. Jackson.
Mr. Jackson, what is your wife or your girlfriend's income?
She makes like $500.
Okay.
Oh, well, a week or a month or...
Like a week.
So she makes $500 a week.
Yes, ma'am.
And your SSI is how much?
On $750.
So,
$750 a month?
Yes, sir.
so roughly $2,750 a month comes into the home.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have how many children? 3?
Yes, ma'am.
And they all live at home?
Yes, ma'am.
Does the state have
And-
a... oh, excuse me, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
I was just going to ask you to give me a criminal history for Mr. Jackson, if he has any, once you're done with your questions.
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, the state is finished with questioning. Mr. Jackson has 3 felony convictions, 1 misdemeanor conviction, 12 unknown dispositions, and he was released in 2006 from Department of Corrections for carjacking with a firearm deadly weapon, and he has a juvenile conviction history of robbery, carjacking, and resisting with violence.
All right, the request for bond reduction is denied. All right, thank you. All right, let's continue on. Kevin Dwayne Jones. He refused to be brought out. Okay.
Your Honor, if I may, yesterday the defense counsel was appointed in Mr. Jones's case. Mr. Jones came through on IAs yesterday, and these are add-on charges, Your Honor.
All right, so the court will appoint the public defender's office in this case as well. And could we just have either in a plea of not guilty, waiving arraignment on behalf of Mr. Jones as to these charges? There are 3 charges: burglary to an occupied dwelling, there's currently no bond, lewd and lascivious behavior in the presence of a person less than 17, also lewd and lascivious behavior in front of a person 18 years or age or less, and so there's no bond on counts 1, 2, or 3. All right, so let's enter pleas of not guilty, waiving arraignment for Mr. Jones. All right, thank you. Next up is DeWitt Andrew Love. All right. Can we bring him on Tuesday? Or let's try and bring him on Tuesday and see if he's more cooperative then. If not, we'll just have to appoint the public defender's office and waive arraignment. How about Magdalis Morel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Morel, you've been held on a warrant for failing to appear. The underlying charges appear to be grand theft and scheme to defraud. No bond on either of those two charges. The judge who issued the warrant did not authorize the setting of a bond. All right, thank you. Billy Ray Morgan.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, but she would like to see if the state has any offers.
Who is,
Ms. Morel?
these are felony? These are felony charges now?
Yeah, the charges are scheme to defraud and grand theft, third degree.
There cannot be offers made at IAs on felony charges.
All right, the state is not willing to make plea offers at this point. All right, thank you. Billy Ray Morgan, June. I'm sorry?
Medical.
Okay. Can we reset him? All right. Next is Johnny Andreas Pagan. Good morning, Mr. Pagan. You're being held on two charges: burglary to a conveyance, that's an automobile, and dealing in stolen property. All right, so the court will reduce the bond on count 1 to $1,000, and the bond on count 2, dealing in stolen property, will remain at $2,500. So total bond is $3,500. Thank you. Rodney Patrick. Okay, good morning, Mr. Patrick. You're here today on the charge of trafficking in methamphetamines. Your current bond is $100,000. $100,000, right?
Your Honor, he qualifies for PTR.
The court will not be releasing him on PTR on a trafficking charge. All right.
And on that, Your Honor, we would request a possible bond reduction.
All right, let's swear him in, and we'll take some testimony. All right, would you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, so help you?
Yes, sir.
And your correct name is Patrick
Rodney Patrick.
Rodney Patrill Patrick.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, please proceed, counsel.
If I could have a moment, Your Honor. Talk with him.